Ron DeSantis continued dipping his toes in the presidential waters on Friday with a rally in Pittsburgh touting his record as well as that of Pennsylvania gubernatorial GOP candidate Doug Mastriano. "This November, we are going to win in the state of Pennsylvania," DeSantis told the cheering crowd of about 1,000 inside the Wyndham Grand Hotel. It was DeSantis' second United to Win rally, organized by the conservative Turning Points Action Group. DeSantis was in Arizona on Sunday and had a rally scheduled in Youngstown, Ohio, with Senate candidate J.D. Considered a potential presidential candidate in 2024, DeSantis has hit the road to endorse other like-minded Republicans and get his name out to battleground state voters. Playing to the Pittsburgh crowd, DeSantis immediately noted that his father is from nearby Aliquippa in Beaver County. Adding to his Yinzer roots, DeSantis pointed to a photo shown on two large screens showing him as a toddler decked out in Pittsburgh Steelers gear. From there, DeSantis offered the audience a mix of endorsements for Mastriano, who's running against Democratic Attorney General Josh Shapiro, and his self-described successes in Florida, a key swing state like Pennsylvania. DeSantis briefly encouraged the crowd to support Republican U.S. Senate candidate Dr. Mehmet Oz, but quickly moved on. He told the audience that Republicans need to get on board behind Mastriano and GOP groups need to be invested in this race. Moderate Republicans made a last-minute gambit in the primary to coalesce behind former U.S. Rep. Lou Barletta and defeat Mastriano, who many Republicans feared was too extreme to succeed in a general election. DeSantis talked about fighting COVID-19 restrictions, banning mask requirements, keeping schools open, and saving Florida from descending into some Faucian dystopia, a jab at Anthony Fauci, President Joe Biden's chief medical advisor. Some of the biggest cheers came when DeSantis said he banned vaccine requirements to work. "Every single mandate in this country needs to be reversed today," he said, drawing a standing ovation. Florida, DeSantis said, is unabashedly a law and order state that would not tolerate defunding the police or violent protests. He called Philadelphia almost a third world country because of its crime situation and liberal policies that supposedly allow it to continue. "We need better for that important city than what we're getting right now," DeSantis said. DeSantis also listed a series of Republican talking points, such as banning sanctuary cities and cracking down on illegal immigration. In his 41-minute speech, DeSantis touched on a slew of cultural issues on the right's agenda, such as banning critical race theory, which is only taught in college, and banning transgendered students from participating in women's sports. "We can never ever surrender to woke ideology," DeSantis said. Mastriano preceded DeSantis and came out with his wife, Rebecca. He launched into an attack on Gov. Tom Wolf and the extreme agenda of Democrats, who he accused of conspiring with the media against him. Mastriano, who refuses to deal with mainstream media, said Democrats and reporters revert to name-calling, directing comments at the media. Mastriano said, "Shame on you for amplifying and perpetuating hate," but did not specify exactly what he was referring to. More than likely, he was referring to reporting about his ties to Gab, a right-wing social media platform whose owner has made many anti-Semitic remarks. Mastriano handed the microphone to Rebecca at one point for her to refute the notion that Republicans oppose women's rights. She said the GOP believes in a woman's right to be born, to live in safe communities, and to compete in sports not dominated by men. Shapiro, Mastriano charged, is weak on crime. "We ought to fire him," Mastriano said. If elected governor, Mastriano said he would immediately remove regulations on drilling in Pennsylvania and any restrictions related to COVID-19 and vaccine requirements. He also vowed to have Pennsylvania State Police take illegal immigrants and escort them to Biden's house in Delaware. McKees Rocks resident Frank Marafa attended the rally with his son, Angelo, 19, who said Mastriano and DeSantis seem like they're on the offense instead of sitting back and taking hits from Democrats. "I like both of them," Angelo Marafa said. Frank Marafa said Mastriano and DeSantis are hardcore guys who remind him of the World War II generation. "We need more of that in this country," he said. Both said they would support former President Donald Trump if he runs for again, but DeSantis would definitely be their second choice. Earlier in the week, a group of Pittsburgh faith leaders unassociated with the Shapiro campaign held an online news conference in which they denounced the DeSantis/Mastriano rally. speakers repeatedly mentioned Mastriano's ties to the social media platform Gab, a haven for right-wing extremism, and its Christian nationalist founder Andrew Torba, who has made anti-Semitic comments. Under pressure about his relationship with Torba, Mastriano denounced anti-Semitism in late July and closed his Gab account while saying that Torba doesn't speak for me or my campaign but Jeff Letwin, a 62-year member of the Tree of Life synagogue in the city's Squirrel Hill neighborhood where an anti-Semitic gunman murdered 11 people and wounded 6 others in an attack on October 27, 2018, said the gubernatorial hopeful has shown his colors. Letwin said the Tree of Life attack would not have happened without encouragement from online hate groups. This is who Doug Mastriano has decided to affiliate with, he said. There can be no place in Pennsylvania government for this kind of extremism, Letwin said. Letwin also said he was surprised that DeSantis would align with Mastriano considering Florida's large Jewish population. Frankly, we don't need Mr. DeSantis coming here to Pittsburgh, he said. We feel that this is bringing the wrong message to the wrong place, said Merrill Ainsman, another member of Pittsburgh's Jewish community. We have learned that rhetoric can promote violence, Ainsman later added. Richard Freeman of the Resurrection Baptist Church in Braddock, home of U.S. Senate Democratic candidate and Lieutenant Gov. John Fetterman, said he was offended by DeSantis and Mastriano coming to Pittsburgh. Freeman said that Christian nationalism is an affront to me and that those beliefs are totally inconsistent with the gospel. Like Ainsman, Rabbi James Gibson of Temple Sinai near the Tree of Life said he worries Christian nationalist rhetoric will lead to violence. I'm extremely concerned that people will act on that nationalism, he said. Several Jewish and Democratic leaders from Florida held their own news conference on Thursday to denounce the rally and DeSantis' endorsement of Mastriano.